Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be pulling back the curtain on a really tragic event that's captured global attention recently. Our mission here is to take a whole stack of different sources, articles, reports, expert takes, and really try to build the clearest possible picture for you. It's a bit like putting together a complex puzzle. We're focusing specifically on the crash of Air India Flight AI-171 that happened back on June 12, 2025. It's just a deeply sad situation. And our goal is to cut through that initial flood of information. We want to get a handle on the key facts, what happened right after, and what these sources tell us about how these incidents are handled globally.
Exactly. And when a story is still developing like this, with so much information flying around, uh, pulling out the really vital points from all the different angles is so important. It's actually quite remarkable how quickly agencies and experts come together to try and figure out what happened in a tragedy like this one. This deep dive should give you a concise but still thorough understanding.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics here. The aircraft involved was Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. What the reports are telling us is that on June 12th, it left Ahmedabad, heading for London Gatwick. But just moments after taking off, around 1:38 p.m. local time, something went wrong.
Yes, the aircraft started losing altitude very rapidly. And then the unthinkable happened. It crashed into a hostel building at BJ Medical College in the Magani Nagar area. Reports say it exploded on impact.
Just awful. And the human cost.
Immense. There were 230 passengers and 12 crew members on that flight. Tragically, only one person survived the crash itself, a British Indian national named Vishwash Kumar Ramesh.
That number, it's staggering. It really brings home the scale of modern air travel, how one incident affects so many lives, both on the plane and, well, elsewhere.
And on the ground, too. At least 39 other individuals sadly lost their lives in the hostel and surrounding area. That brings the total death toll to over 280 people.
Unbelievable. You mentioned some early speculation, things seen in footage.
Yeah, some very early footage seemed to show the landing gear was still down, and there was talk about possible issues with the flaps or maybe engine thrust. But these are things the investigation will be looking at very carefully now.
Right. So for something of this scale, an international incident, what are the absolute first steps for the investigators? How do they mobilize?
Well, the immediate priority is always securing the crash site, protect the evidence, and recovering the flight recorders, the so-called black boxes. They've actually found both of them, the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder.
Okay, that's crucial.
Absolutely. They've been sent off for analysis already. India's leading the investigation, of course, but they're working very closely with international bodies. We're talking the U.S. NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. They have vast experience. And the UK's AAB, the Air Accidents Investigation Branch, is involved too, especially since London was the destination.
And Boeing, presumably.
Yes. Boeing as the manufacturer is also a key part of this. It's a collaborative effort, pooling all that expertise. They expect a preliminary report within about 3 months.
That collaboration sounds vital, bringing in all those different experts to piece it together. What about the broader industry response? Anything immediate happening there?
Yes, definitely. India's aviation regulator, the DGCA, acted quickly. They've ordered fleet-wide checks on all Boeing 787s and even some 777s operating in India. That runs until mid-July. It's a precautionary safety measure.
A sensible precaution.
And Air India's chairman described it as a heartbreaking moment, naturally, and stressed that this must lead to even stronger safety standards. Safety has to be the absolute priority.
It makes you think about how quickly news like this spreads and the ripple effects beyond just the immediate investigation.
Oh, absolutely. You see it almost instantly. Global news outlets, financial analysts like BBC, Bloomberg, Reuters, podcasts,
Yeah.
they immediately started discussing the potential financial hit for Boeing, the impact on airline stocks globally.
So it's not just about the airline. It hits the whole economic system tied to aviation.
Exactly. And you also see things like travel advisories popping up from different countries, plus a big surge in public discussion about aviation safety protocols. It shows how these events resonate worldwide and demand a really transparent, unified response.
Right. And connecting this back, these initial assessments you mentioned, they help inform the public, guide the early response.
And they also flag potential systemic issues, things that might eventually lead to new airworthiness directives from regulators or maybe even design changes down the line. That's what people watching closely will be looking out for.
So wrapping this up for you, our listener, we've covered the timeline of the crash, the terrible human cost, the quick start to the international investigation, and the immediate industry reactions. The aim here is really to help you grasp these complex events quickly and accurately.
Yeah, and I think this incident, as utterly tragic as it is, really highlights the incredibly rigorous processes that exist in global aviation safety and disaster response. It's this intense collaboration, this focus on the details, like recovering those black boxes, that ultimately feeds back into making flying safer. These investigations continuously shape safety standards and how we all understand risk in air travel.
It's certainly a sobering reminder of the human impact of such events, but also, as you say, that constant drive, that relentless push for improving safety in the skies definitely leaves you with something to think about.